Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to use the law of attraction to manifest wealth and abundance into your life. If you want to be successful, if you want to manifest like a lifestyle that's filled with wealth and abundance, then I feel like this is the video for you. And the crazy thing is, so many successful people out there believe in the law of attraction and practice the law of attraction. And so if you want to manifest wealth, and incorporating these little techniques into your life will really help you. Number one is to focus your attention on what is working. So often I will see people like in life look at all of the things that they're not good at and then try to work on those little things that they're not good at. But actually the secret to sort of manifesting wealth and success is to focus on the things that you are naturally good at and to lean into it like wholeheartedly and to make that basically your main focus. For example, if you're someone who isn't good with like administrative duties, like if you hate being organized and you're just not good at those kinds of things, instead of trying to work on that and trying to be more organized and trying to fit yourself into that role, what you would actually do is think about what you are actually good at. So maybe you're really good with like talking to people, maybe you're a people person, you're very personable, and that's actually what you're really good at. So maybe you would focus on how to turn that into a career. Maybe you could go into sales, or maybe you could go into like consulting, because naturally you're good at speaking to people and making connections with other people. And that's just one example of what I mean in terms of like your career, but maybe it's business. Maybe in your business you're not great at like the little accounting stuff or like, you know, little admin stuff like invoicing or whatever, and what you're really good at is just making the product or providing the service. Then what you want to do is focus all of your time and all of your energy into making the product or making the service, and you would basically want to outsource all the other admin duties and accounting duties to someone else so that you can spend more time working on what is like bringing you the most success. And when you do this, what's going to happen is, because your attention and your focus is going towards what is working, what is bringing you success, then wherever your attention goes, energy will flow and you will get more of what you're focusing your mind on. And I also see this online a lot when people will tell you, like if they're a content creator especially, they'll tell you that when they niche down and focus on what was really working for them, that's when their business kind of blew up, because instead of like spreading themselves too thin and trying to put their energy into every little thing, they really focus on what was bringing them the most results. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule, which states that 80% of the results, the success, the productivity comes from 20% of the effort. And I find this to be very true, especially in like the space of content creation. Like on my main channel, I know that like 80% of my revenue, for example, comes from like 20% of my content. The 20% that people watch the most, the 20% that people engage with the most. So what I have to do basically, if I want to be more successful on that channel, is focus on the 20% of content that people actually enjoy and make more of that content, that type of content basically. And the second point is to focus on the integrity of your work. A lot of the times you will see people tell you to just work harder. And I feel like growing up, we've been conditioned to think that working harder means it will produce more results. Working harder means you'll be more successful, these kinds of things. But we know that is not true, because if you just have like a regular 9 to 5, you could work, or maybe you're like an hourly worker, you could work, I don't know, maybe like 60 hours a week to make more money. But at the end of the day, you're only going to be able to work so much until you can't really work anymore. It wouldn't necessarily be possible for most people to work like say 100 hours a week, because we all have to sleep, we all have like our own lives, and some people have children, those kinds of things. So working harder doesn't always mean that you're going to be more successful. And what we've actually learned is that the opposite is true. It's about setting yourself up in such a way so that you are no longer trading your time for money, and that is how you generate true wealth, is when you're able to be in a place where your money is working for you and you're investing and you're kind of like making returns even while you're like going about your everyday life. So it's kind of the same principle, and when you apply that to your business or to your work, It's really about the integrity of your work and not necessarily about producing more. So again, I find this to be so true when it comes to like my other channel. Just at one point in my life, I was like just trying to crank out content and I wasn't as focused on the quality of those videos, and I felt like even though I was like working so hard and putting out so much content, ultimately the quality wasn't like up to snuff, and people can suss that out of course. So it wasn't bringing me the results that I wanted. So one thing to focus on is the quality and the integrity of your work rather than how much you work. And in terms of manifestation, it's kind of about being in flow. Like when you're hustling so hard that you feel like you're gonna burn out and crash, then you're not really in flow, and you're, in a sense, you're kind of sacrificing like your energy and like your body and your health in order to produce more, thinking that it'll make you more successful. But without that balance, making sure that you're okay and that you're able to work in a way where you're not going to be burnt out all the time, it's going to be very counterproductive essentially. And then my last point is to be as if. So you know how people tell you don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job that you want? It's kind of similar to that. Like if you just started at a new company but you're like kind of pining for a promotion or something like that and you want to move up the corporate ladder, what you would essentially do is you would start putting in like more hours, more time, putting in extra effort, and do the things that are going to make you get that promotion. And those things are most likely going to be like outside of the realm of like your responsibilities, but in acting as if you're like the manager or something like that, acting as if you have a position that's higher than your current position, and dressing the part and talking the part, what you're essentially doing is you're making yourself sort of the obvious candidate for that promotion, for that position, and then you're much more likely to get it. And it's the same thing for business. Once you see yourself as like a successful person, as a successful like entrepreneur, it's going to be very hard for you to unsee yourself in that way, and your brain will find ways to make it happen to get you to where you want to be. And that's why I talk about like the integrity of your work, and why that's so important is because it's about who you are, not what you want. If you behave as if you are the successful person, then all of your actions will mirror that and reflect that, and then your reality is again a mirror of who you are. So you're gonna get back basically exactly what you want by being the person who has everything that you want. And one thing to sort of note is you want to sort of be as if because it is who you prefer to be, instead of being as if because you want a specific result. Because if you're just doing it, like if you're just faking it to get what you want, deep down you will kind of know. And if you're not able to kind of fully embody that like persona, that identity, and you're only doing it for a short amount of time just to get what you want, then it's gonna be very like short-lived. It's like essentially like a band-aid solution rather than like a permanent solution. And you can kind of apply this to things like fitness as well. Like if you're only gonna eat healthily and exercise for like a few weeks just to get a desired result of losing weight, let's say, then you might achieve it, but it's gonna be short-lived, because if you don't maintain it, you're most likely gonna go back to exactly how you were before if you revert back to the lifestyle that you had before the weight loss. So it's kind of like that. You really have to embody the new identity in order to get like long-lasting results. Okay, that's it for today's short little video. I hope you liked it. I hope that you found value in it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. Okay, let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Bye!